must have something good to say this morning. Everybody up. Good morning, y'all. All right, well, we ain't going to waste no time. We ain't got nobody to wait on. Let's do this. Everybody on the phone, y'all have a fantastic day. Let's get it going. Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. You know, I like to call this your wake-up call, but since your body already up, let's go ahead and wake up your mind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so this morning we are talking about pain and suffering. How long you want to be doing it? Are you currently in a situation that is hurting your life? Are you currently experiencing a time in your life where you need things to be different? Are you? If you're experiencing a time in your life where everything is blissful and fine and wonderful, then stay there. Don't move. Keep doing more of exactly the same thing. But, if you find yourself currently, right now, in this moment where I'm talking, in a situation that does not make you happy, that does not serve your soul, that does not set your life on fire, then this call is for you. And click share right now if you know somebody else that it might be for. So, this subject of pain and suffering is first easy to recognize because we can recognize pain, okay? We know that this means, I don't want it. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. When we recognize something as painful, it is triggering a particular part of our body. Now, a few things then happen. Fight or flight, we hunker in, or we become one with the pain. Now, if you have become one with your pain, I really want to talk to you today. Because when we become one with the pain, we acknowledge that somewhere on some level we want it, or worse, we feel like we deserve it. Have you ever gone through a situation and maybe you did have some responsibility to take? Maybe it wasn't somebody else's fault. Maybe you're in this situation and maybe you created it all by yourself. It is completely possible, but that's okay. You don't have to stay there, okay? Now I want to share something with you about why contrast is so important. Why it is important to actually go through the situation and the circumstance that is causing you pain so that you could get out of it. If it wasn't hurting, you wouldn't be trying to change it. Have you ever heard that cliche statement about the dog on the rusty nail? When the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, that's when we move. Because change is painful. We don't like to change. We don't like to move things. We like things exactly the way they are. But when we recognize and observe that something is wrong, now we must seek that change because staying here hurts. And if staying here hurts, we got to move. Even if you don't want to let go, if staying here hurts, you got to let go. You got to move. You can't stay where it hurts. Or at least you shouldn't. Or if you stay where it hurts, how long should you stay? Let's talk about it. Okay, so why you need to identify this contrast. Contrast simply being the difference between what we want and what we don't want, okay? So you are already experiencing clarity whenever you observe the contrast. Now, observing the contrast, this is when you know you're working on yourself. This is when you know you've tuned into a new word and stimulated something new in your mind, when you can even recognize contrast. Those of us doing the non-complaining, when you recognize that you are complaining, you have already made a major step towards stopping your complaining. Because you complain without even recognizing that you're doing it. But let's get you out of pain. Imagine you're riding in your car with your best friend who insists on fiddling with the radio. Now, our friends know, don't fool with my radio in the car, right? But your friend chooses a heavy metal station that you hate. You begin to feel stressed. After 5 seconds of this music, you say, "This is my car, and I'm not listening to this for one more second." You reach over, change the dial to your favorite station, which plays adult contemporary music. Instantly, you start to feel happier. Notice how you become clear about what you like paying attention to and what you don't like. In other words, contrast has provided you clarity. In this situation, what's the clarity? I don't like heavy metal music. And if I don't like heavy metal music, it is causing me pain. What can I do about that pain? When we recognize it, we go, don't want this. Change the station immediately. Every day, every second of your life is a vibrational output. What are you connected to? What are you allowing? Are you staying yourself on the heavy metal station when you know you don't like heavy metal? But are you allowing it in? Are you allowing this heavy metal situation to stay in your life because you think that you have to keep it there because it's there today? Just like you could change that radio, you could change the situation and the circumstances in your life, but you have to do something about it. We could sit here in the car with the friend who put on the heavy metal and just complain about it. Man, I hate heavy metal. Heavy metal gets on my nerves. Heavy metal is my least favorite kind of music. Man, I hate heavy metal. And not change the station. That's how you sound when you persist in your pain. That's how you sound when you persist in your complaining. That's how you sound when you post about your pain. Call your friends and talk about your pain. You know what the universe is thinking? Universe is thinking, oh, they like pain. Let me give them more. More pain, please. But if you can use the contrast to recognize this is not what I want. I want to listen to music that makes me happy. I want to listen to music that doesn't even make me register that I need to think about it at all. I need to add things to my life that are stress-free. Are you adding things to your life that are stress-free, or are you recognizing the pain and sticking on that record over and over and over again? So let's talk about some more things. How long is briefly? So here's the question. How long do you have to stay in the pain? We recognize the pain. Ooh, I don't like this. Let's move immediately. Shift, pivot. This thing that I teach my clients is called a pivot. At any point in time, when anything has come for you and you feel stressed, you feel overwhelmed, you feel unhappy, you notice even the slightest modicum of unhappiness creeping up on you, go do something that makes you happy. Take a walk. Call a friend that makes you laugh. When you call the friend to make you laugh, though, don't talk about the stuff that made you sad and mad and in pain. Call and talk about something else. I know this seems so simple, but we've gotten into this place in this world where we think that we have to talk about all of our mess and all of our drama, thinking that it's going to make it go away, when in essence, all it does is gives you more mess and more drama. So the key to getting what you want without getting stuck, focusing on what you don't want, is to briefly observe the contrast. How long is briefly? Only you decide how long briefly is. For some, experiencing contrast in a relationship may last for years. For others, contrast is observed for a short period of time. You might decide to end a relationship on a first date, where somebody else might still be married to 20 years later to somebody they were supposed to break up with on the first date. Ever been there? Ever done that too long? Ever waited in a relationship, observing all the contrast, noticing that it's breaking your heart, hurting you, and you continue to stay? How long do you choose to stay before you change, before you make a difference? How long do you allow heavy metal music to play in your car? How long do you allow the things that you don't want to overtake your life to the point where you don't even remember you before the pain? Can you remember you before the relationship that broke you? Can you remember you before the job that broke you? Can you remember you before life broke you? You don't have to stick around. You don't have to stick around and be hurt. So, notice when you experience contrast around smells, sounds, or taste, your tolerance is minimal. Smell, sound, taste. Our natural senses, the things that we cannot use logic to get us out of. The things that other people can't change our minds about. So, how long would you smell something that doesn't smell good? How long? How long would you listen to music that doesn't sound good? How long would you eat something that doesn't taste good? How long do you stay? How long? But how long have you been in this very situation that's causing you the pain that you're thinking about right now? How long you been there? How long you been doing it? How long have you been allowing it to happen? Because this is you. Who can change it? You. Only you. And so if you wouldn't taste something that tasted horrible for too long, and you wouldn't smell something that smelled horrible for too long, and you wouldn't eat, why? Why do you let these other things persist and stay? You can change them. And so in these cases, you are observing contrast briefly, and that definition of briefly is very briefly. And changing it is clear that you want to do it fast. However, a few areas of your life, your finances, they don't change because you keep making the same decisions over and over again. Relationships, they don't change because you keep justifying over and over again. You keep making excuses over and over again. And even if you're the person that's messing up the relationship, maybe you're the brave one who needs to step out. Maybe you're the one who needs to exit the relationship. If you know that the relationship is in pain because both parties are in pain, you be the brave one and get up and leave. Maybe you need to find a new job. Are you even looking? Maybe you need to start a business and leave your job. Are you planning? I don't know what's causing your painful situation that you're in. But if it's your body, are you making different decisions about what you're putting in it? If it's physical, are you doing something about it? Or are you observing that it's causing you pain and then choosing to stay in pain? Nobody is choosing to stay in pain on purpose. So why are you doing it? Why are you allowing it? Stop. How do you stop? You just stop. You look yourself square in the mirror one day and you make a decision. And you say, today will be the last day I do this. I'm done. I'm going to make a new decision right now. And even if you can't change all of the circumstances around it right now, changing your mind is all you need to do. So when you spend time changing your vibration, the universe then responds to the change. When you release things and you forgive and you let go, the universe recognizes that you are working to create room, to create opportunity for something new to happen. When you are speaking life to your desires, to the things in your heart, when you are helping yourself make them plain, then the universe can catch hold and say, oh, that's what we're doing? Oh, okay. I just needed some direction. I just needed you to help me get us where you want to go. But are you going to then get up and go? Or are you going to make more excuses for staying the same? And so whether it was something that was coming for your taste buds or your nose, you would protect these things because your natural instinct would require you to do so. You would immediately leave a room that didn't smell right. You would immediately spit food out that didn't taste good. You would la to conversation that you didn't want to hear, except for all this stuff that you are still accepting and allowing. Oh, but you have zero tolerance for these things, but all the tolerance in the world for being mistreated in other ways. Let me let you know, any mistreatment that you allow, any mistreatment that you are accepting, you might as well be asking for it. Do you hear me? If you allow it and you accept it, you might as well have dialed it up and asked for it yourself, because it is now your creation. You can't blame it on anybody else. You can't say it's anybody else's fault. And so, if you're ready to let it go, let it go. Move on. Be ready to use the contrast to get you to the next place. Recognizing, I don't want any more of this. But you can't say, I don't want more of this to get something different. You have to completely shift, and change and choose what you do now want, which is when you ask yourself this magic carpet question. What do I want now? What do I want now? It doesn't matter what the circumstances of today are. It doesn't matter. But you can't get out of here until you can answer the question of, what do I do want? What do I want? If you can know what you want, then you can get what you want. If you know what you want, the universe will flood you with more of it, with the ways to have it, with the answers, with the ideas. The universe will give you all of that. God will provide you with all of that. But you've got to be ready to shift, ready to leave this alone, ready to change, ready to call it pain and let it go. I don't choose pain. I choose peace. I choose freedom. I choose love. I choose life. All of this is on the other side, and you can have it all. But you must let go the pain in order to receive it. You must let go the pain. You must set the pain and put it down. So the other day we raised our right hand and we promised to be good to ourselves. And so today, can we make one more declaration to each other? Me to you and you to me. You promising that because you said these words out loud, that you understand that you are speaking life to your life and that you will do something about it. And so right hands raised, please, wherever you are. I promise, not Coach Mo promise, but I promise that I will take the best care of me that I can. I promise I will release, loose, and let go anything that is no longer serving me. I promise to put myself first. I promise that no matter what it takes to change, I will do what it takes to have, be, and do what I want. If you can do that, if you can be willing to let it go, you can have everything. What is this Nike slogan going around? If you're willing to sacrifice anything to get everything, or however it goes, but you got to be willing to let go in order to receive, in order to have. And this sacrifice does not have to hurt because the pain already hurts enough. When you let go, the sacrifice is now surrender. I surrender. I let go. I don't need that anymore. That is no longer serving me. No matter what it is, no matter how long you've been connected to it. I don't care if it's your mama that's hurting you. If your mama is causing you pain, release her. Let her go. You will always love her. If it's your husband, if it's your wife, if it's your job, if it's your business, I don't care what is hurting you. If it's hurting you, drop it like a hot potato. Let it go because you don't need it. But what you do need is to make a new choice. What you do need is to make a brand new decision right now. And so if you raised your hand with me, the universe has heard your decision. You don't need to keep going over it. You don't need to keep begging God for what it is that you want. Stop begging. Believe instead. Believe that when you choose to decide this is what I want, believe that the universe heard you and your wish will be granted, because you wouldn't have the desire if the granting of it wasn't already available to you. But do it. Prove me right. I guarantee you it works every single time. That's my time, y'all. I'm a little over, but thank you for indulging me because these subjects are so close and personal to my heart. Because I see you in pain. I scroll through and I read your posts. I became a life coach because I saw too many people's posts and they were hurting. And I started getting on the phone with them. And the next thing I know, I was talking for 3 hours. They felt better and I hadn't done any work. And those same people still write me and say, Monique, that one conversation I had with you 6 years ago changed my life. I get up 3 days a week when I don't have to get up early to do this for you, so that you might be that one person that hears what you need to hear to change everything. So click share. Tell somebody else, because they might need the same life change you need. They might be going through something different, but going through something nonetheless. We all are, right? So let's get out of our own way and make it happen. Have a great and wonderful weekend, everybody. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. And if you've never been here before and don't know anything about me, go to MoniqueSpence.com and learn all you can. Have a great day. And if you are a person who wants some assistance and guidance on this journey, how to get unstuck, find me and my red chair. This is what I do. I can help you. Have a great day, everybody.